All right. Yeah, we are looking forward to playing Missouri. I guess maybe the hottest team in the conference, other than Alabama. I think they're the only two undefeated now. So they got a lot of momentum, and they're a very good team. Play good defense, offense, special teams. They can return kicks. They can do it all. Coach Finkel's got him a good team out there, and their coaches do a super job with them. So it'll be a challenge. None of our players have ever been to Missouri, I don't think, and personally, I've never been to their stadium there. So it'll be a new experience for South Carolina and our players to play out there. But we're looking forward to seeing how we can match up with them and hopefully play a real good game. As far as injuries, both of our players that looked like had pretty severe injuries was not as severe as we thought. And Connor Shaw is going to be able to maybe back up Dylan Thompson this week. He's not going to practice much during the week, but he should be okay pretty much by Saturday night. And Kelsey Quarles, our defensive tackle, had a sort of a sprained knee that looks like it's coming around. He could be available to play some. So we're very healthy, I think, compared to a lot of teams in the SEC, a lot of teams in the country, and hopefully we can go out there and play our best.
Coach, we'll start you off with Edward Ashoff of ESPN.com.
Coach, can you just talk about the strength of this conference from top to bottom, especially what happened last week with a bunch of the top-ranked teams?
Yeah, I think the conference is strong up and down. There's no question. A lot of us are sort of in the middle of the pack, I guess you'd say, and then some injuries have knocked Georgia and Florida down, definitely. But Vanderbilt's a very good team. Kentucky played us down to the wire. It seems like the offenses over on the western side with Auburn and Texas A&M and Ole Miss, seems like those teams make about 500-600 yards every week when I look at their stats and watch those guys go up and down the field. So it's always been a pretty tough league, and maybe it's a little bit more parity than most years.
Next, David Lewis Post-Dispatch.
Steve, what's your impression on Missouri's defense and where it's shown the most improvement from last year?
Well, they're very fast. They're quick. You know, somebody said they don't have any fat guys out there playing. So anyway, they are a quick defense. They play their zones extremely well. Their guys, very seldom you ever see a guy out of position. So they're a well-coached team, and they really react to the ball. And they play a little bit of man-to-man, of course. They mix it up. In fact, it's hard to tell exactly what coverage they're in. They disguise well, and they do what good defenses do. They, I think, lead the conference in sacks right now. They can get excellent pressure without blitzing, although every now and then they'll blitz too. So they've and then, of course, their offense is scoring a bunch of points. Quarterback, receivers run the ball, and they got a return game. Their returner is one of the best in the country. So they're definitely a heck of a team.
Thanks.
Lebo with Sports Radio 18.
Hey, Coach, I know you weren't at South Carolina at the time, but you were at Florida when South Carolina came into the league. I just wonder if you can remember back when Carolina came in the league, when you were at Florida, and stories you've heard while you're at Carolina about the adjustment period of coming to the SEC, and kind of relate that to how Missouri has done a decent job here in the first couple of years.
Well, South Carolina was competitive. They may not have won a bunch, but they lost some close games. I remember in '92 they had us on the ropes down there at Florida. I think we beat them 14-9, something like that, and we actually won the division that year. And then next year they had us 17-0 in second quarter, and we came back and won that one up here in Columbia. So they had ball players, and they were competitive. I think Arkansas, I'm not sure how they were. We didn't play them until about 96 or so. But, you know, there's good players all over the country. We knew Missouri and Texas A&M were good teams, very good teams. And, you know, every year's a little different team, and Missouri definitely got a good one this year.
How do they look any different, if at all, or what you saw last year. Connor had a special day against them, completed 20 passes in a row. You won't see Franklin this year. You'll see Matty Mock. What are the differences in what you see from them this time around?
Well, I just think they seem to be a little quicker on defense. That's what I mostly watch is the defense. And the guys are in tremendous condition, and they play fast. Of course, they played pretty fast last year, but they seem a little faster this year.
Next is Chip Howard of KZNE Radio.
Coach, the Missouri receivers are really exceptionally tall. What problems does that present your defense?
Well, we've had problems knocking the ball down, that's for sure. Some games, but our guys they got to get in the in the fight for the ball with the receivers. Seems like we have a tough time, getting in there and fighting for the ball. That's what you have to do. You have to go for it, and you have to look back, and you can bump into receivers as long as you're looking back, going for the ball, and that's what you have to do. You have to just go for it and look back for it, and create some push and shove a little bit without using your hands, if you know what I mean. You use your elbows and go in there and look for the ball and try to hang with those guys.
Thank you.
Next is Josh Siegel of the Eagle.
Coach, I was wondering if you could talk about your experience coming into the SEC as a young coach and how the league is hiring more and more successful young coaches today.
Well, my experience, I don't know if I was a young coach. I was 45. I guess that's young for some people. But I inherited a heck of a team down there. So there was no we had a team ready to go the first 2 years. And in the third year, the recruiting had slipped a little bit at Florida. And, of course, that's why you replace a coach when it's going downhill a little bit. So the players were already there in the first 2 years I was there in 90-91. So we were competitive. Well, we won the division. I won the conference both years. But, yeah, everybody wants to win. Everybody's got plenty of money now. So everybody can spend all they want on facilities, all they want on a coach. If there's a top-notch coach out there, you try to go get him. And everybody wants to win. And unfortunately, 50% of every game there's a loser. So you do the best you can. I guess that's all to say.
Why do you think that more and more schools are hiring younger coaches?
Well, I think they're trying to hire proven coaches, too. I think they're trying to hire coaches that have pretty good track record. And it just seems to be a good formula for hiring coaches, although there's coordinators that are ready to be head coaches also.
Last one, what's your relationship with Kevin Sumlin?
Kevin? I think we got a pretty good relationship. We went on a golf trip this summer to Ireland. He's one golfer I can beat, not by much, but no, he's a pretty good golfer. He's a fun guy to be around. We had a good time. Bobby Stoops, Kevin Sumlin, and I, and the wives, and actually 3 other couples had a golf trip to Ireland. So we had a big time.
Is that how you know him, through Coach Stoops?
Hey,
yeah, pretty much so.
Josh.
Okay.
Next up, we have Josh Kendall of the State Newspaper.
Okay. All right, thanks. Oh, Josh is up. Go ahead. Yeah.
Steve, is there any scenario you could see where you start Connor this week if he just keeps progressing really fast?
No, I don't think so. I think Dylan's ready. He's taking all the snaps now, and if we can, I don't think Connor's going to be 100%, but he loves to play, as you know. But I think it's time we let Dylan see what he can do and go from there. A little bit like last year. When we went to Clemson, Connor warmed up, and his foot was bothering him, but he said he could play. And right now his knee's going to bother him a little bit, but he's going to say he could play. But I just sort of feel like let's give Dylan a shot, see what happens.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay.
Coach, we'll finish you up with Dwayne Rankin of the Montgomery Advertiser.
Yes, Coach. The targeting rule, now that we're basically midway through the season, how do you feel it's been used, and is the interpretation getting harder and harder to understand as the weeks go on?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a rule we have to have. Sometimes the referees miss it a little bit, but when there's a helmet-to-helmet hit and the tackler could avoid it, the penalty, 15 yards and ejection, is something to think about. We had one last week, and I told our safety, J.J. Marcus, I said, J.J., you can't tackle like that anymore. I know you're used to that, but actually it was a pass play where he was following the guy, so it wasn't any kind of head on, both guys going in different directions. They were all going the same direction, but he did lower his head and hit him in the helmet, and that's a penalty. Tennessee kid bounced right back up. He didn't even hardly know he was tackled hard. He flipped the ball to the referee and went on about his business. But it was a penalty, and he was ejected. And I just said you can't tackle like that anymore. So, and a lot of schools have no trouble with it. They tell their guys stay low, hit them in the waist. Now you're getting a few more knees, maybe getting knocked out some places because of this. But hopefully. Players will tackle around the chest area. That's the safest, I think, for all concerned. And keep their head out of it. Use your shoulder pads and go like that.